from the sanctuary. How's that? Yep. That might work a little better. Welcome, everyone. My name is Reverend Michael McMorrow. I'm coming to you from the sanctuary at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California, which is in the North San Fernando Valley, if you're not familiar with the area. And so for those of you joining us in the room and online, a hearty howdy do and welcome. And it is time for our Get Real and Heal meditation service. And Beverly Scott, who has been presiding with us, it's her birthday. So we join her in celebrating her 39th birthday again. And I wanted to start with this. So, we've been working with the Science of Mind 365. This by Victor Hugo. Be like the bird, that pausing in her flight, a while on boughs too slight, feels them give way beneath her, and yet sings, knowing that she hath wings. It's a lot of deepage from Vic. So we're going to start our service the way we start every service here at our center, by taking a deep conscious breath together and release. Just release the cares, concerns of the day. Shake this dust from the sandals and claim this moment as our own as we come together for our call to service, which we call Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. That fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So as we light the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. The third candle we light for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here, within our center, within our online community, and within our own hearts. And behind me we have the healing candle. So please feel free to speak or to silently place into the light the names of anyone you wish to feel the healing flame of God's eternal love.
I'm thankful God.
So let's take a breath together. One more time, and then just release and surrender just a wee bit deeper, recognizing and knowing that there's only one thing going on in this manifest universe. God as you understand it to be, that we know this to be that infinite power and presence, a living intelligence, the wellspring of love itself, the creative impulse of life that is both impresses and expresses itself in, through, and as all of life, and in, through, and as our life. And so as we surrender to this moment, we gently set an intention for this meditation here this evening, or this time we spend together, while at the same time releasing any attachment to what is to transpire. That we're just allowing the evening to unfold as the perfection of the eternality of now expressing. So we just take a deep breath again and release. Just let it all go with a sense of gratitude, confidence, knowing it is so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So that reading that we started with, that little poem from Victor Hugo, it's the emphasis or the theme, if you like, for this month of May is joy in this 365. We've been working on this on Wednesday evenings through the year and on Sundays. And for those of us who explore this teaching called The Science of Mind, it's just an opportunity for us to kind of get back to basics, to remember that at the basis of this faith system is a belief in a power greater than we are, and in the power of thought coupled with spiritual practice to effect change for good in our life and in the life of others as well. So this Ernest Holmes wrote these things. He's the dude who kind of set this thing up back at the turn of the last century. And the psalmist writes, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength, my Redeemer." And he writes, "There is only one power, one presence, God the good, all-powerful and ever-present." Of course, some folks struggle with the word God. So you could say there's only one power, one presence, love. Love the good, all-powerful and ever-present. And I am an individualized part of this universal presence and one with this universal power. I am a perfect expression of perfect life now, and everything necessary to the fullness of that expression comes to me. Today I definitely claim as my inheritance life, love, peace, joy, power, and an abundance of all good. Running through me is the silent power of spiritual wisdom, harmoniously directing my thought and action. I am surrounded by an atmosphere of love. I am guided and governed by the impulse of love. This love casts out all fear, for fear cannot abide in the same household as love. I fill my consciousness with a sense of the law of the Spirit until my whole being is flooded with it. It blesses me, heals me, guides me, sustains me forever. The life of the divine is my life, self-existent and immortal. The truth of this Spirit is my truth, unconditioned and eternal. The love of God is my love, complete and perfect now. So for those of us who are people of faith, to understand that there is that this expression of the divine is something that we both are moving in and through and as the poet Rumi wrote back in the 12th century, we're swimming in it. And also we are an emanation of it. So by cultivating a sense of our oneness with the divine, we feel that we begin to see that we live lives that have a bit less drama, a bit more serene and peaceful, harmonious, that life seems to come at us within a natural flow, and that we intuitively are guided, even within challenging conditions, that we are intuitively guided to right action. This is a very powerful way to be. And of course, one of the practices that helps cultivate this type of mindset and an openness to exploring this oneness with this creative field of life is, of course, through meditation. And since we don't have a lot of the bells and whistles, we're just going to get right to it tonight. And I'm going to save you from a long discourse. So you should feel some gratitude right there. So let's breathe into that gratitude with even a sense of mirth, right? So we can smile when we meditate. Allow the heart to open as we take a deep conscious breath together and release. And in that release, we just feel the body settle. And we bring our attention to the movement of the breath in the nostril. So if you're online and joining us and haven't meditated before, all we're doing is paying attention to the movement of the breath in the nostril, and you'll see that the mind is a very busy place, as Mr. Goenka observed. But you will also see that the thoughts begin to still. As the thoughts begin to still, monitoring the sensation of the breath in the nostril. Each exhale, we drop just a wee bit deeper. And then see if you can detect the movement of the breath on your upper lip. breathing easily, naturally. The tummy rises and falls easily, free of restriction of any kind. If we find we get snagged by a thought thread, we just can take a deep breath. Just release it. It's just thinking. Release it and then return back to the breath. So we take a deep breath together one more time. And release as we move into the silence now for about 20 minutes or so. gently bring our attention back into the room. Stay with the breath just a bit longer. And imagine with me this flame within the heart center. Flame of the divine that we're stoking with each in-breath now. So with each in-breath, this flame's growing more radiant, expansive. There's a ball of fire in our very heart center, a fire that illuminates rather than consumes. Staying with the breath. Expanding this ball of light. Light of the indwelling spirit, the light of love itself. Light expanding now beyond the torso, side to side, front to back, top to bottom, that we are sitting in this globe of light and love. And just feeling the energetic of that. Knowing it's extending even further, enlightening the very room in which we're sitting. And that as this light and love is bound by nothing, not time nor space, that this energetic now is beyond the four walls and even extending and connecting with those on this meditation here this evening, as well as those in the room here tonight. From this place of open-heartedness, we feel an energetic of light, of love, of oneness. So from this place then of conscious union with the One, we recognize and know that there truly is but one power, love itself expressing as creativity, as intelligence, loving kindness and compassion. It is the healing agency of all life. So we allow ourselves to feel this attunement, the divine song of love, knowing that at the smallest aspects of our being, that we are aligning with and attuning with a vibration of perfection, so that every atom, every molecule, every cell, every organ, every muscle, every bone, every neuron is firing with the energetic of the divine, aligning itself with a pattern of perfection, expressing as radiant good health, a sense of vitality and strength, of vim and vigor, that we are open at the top to new and dynamic ideas of creativity, that we are intuitively drawn to solutions to any seeming challenge, recognizing that even now the solution is already in place. So from this heart-mind connection now, we know that our relationships are attuned to each other in open-hearted ways, that we intuitively find ways of conscious communication and expression that allow for the free flow of love and mutual respect, of seeking first to understand rather than be understood. That we know within our various career paths that the crooked ways are made straight. That again we are intuitively guided into ways of being our most efficient, our most creative. That we stand in a field of consciousness that easily seeks to find that win-win solution in all of our relationships, including our working life. And so in this way, then we now understand that we are in the divine flow of life, that we feel a sense of contentment and grace and ease that instills within us a sense of knowing that all is well, an open-heartedness that has generosity and kindness within it. So we take a deep breath and we release this word, our own cares, concerns, intentions for the evening, that as we make our way home tonight, that we arrive in safety and in good order, that as we make our way through the rest of this evening, find our way to our beds, our heads hit the pillow, we drift off easily to sleep, dreaming sweet dreams, sleeping deeply, restfully, awakening, feeling fully rested, restored, replenished, with a sense of excitement for the day to be. Taking one more deep breath, we release all of it now and feel the resonance of love that remains, knowing it is all good. And let's just acknowledge this by saying, and so it is, or Amen. So we're ending a little early tonight. That's what happens when I don't yammer on too long. So that's a good thing. So thank you for joining me here in the sanctuary and also online. It's there's something about meditating with others that has its own unique vibe to it. So thank you for being with us tonight. So if this is your first time on the channel, you can hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button. And if you're wanting to support the center, there's ways to donate. You can find your way to that through our PayPal account as well. Just know in whatever way you are sharing, whether in coin or in generosity with others, that it is all appreciated. You can join us we're meeting here at live now at 9 a.m., and then we live stream at 10:30. We now have childcare available. It's not youth church yet, but we do, if you have wee ones, we do have folks to tend to them so you can have an hour of peace in the sanctuary if that's what you need. And so come join us if you're curious, and know that you're most welcome. So with that, peace and blessings. Rev Mike signing out. We'll see you next time.